You keep saying shelter, but in the press, I assume they're going to use the word tiny home, right?
No, we use shelter.
Okay, so shelter. So the word tiny home isn't correct?
Shout out Mr. Checkpoint. AFTP. There's killers up in these streets. Always film the police. Gotta be our own keepers of peace. Gotta police the police. Gotta police the police.
Hello?
Senate?
Yeah.
Hi, it's Matt McGarren.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm well. So
Hey, are you?
I wanted to
Are
just,
you?
yeah?
Oh, well, go ahead. You go first.
No, what were you going to say?
I was going to ask if you were going to be with Eric on Saturday. He said that he's coming to visit to do his Bible thing.
Right. Did you get my text message?
Did you say yes? I
Yeah.
probably-
Yeah, I told
Okay.
you yeah.
Okay.
And then
That's good.
you asked me if somehow I could get cleared on something, right?
Oh, the yoga thing. That's different. That's
That's different. But I am now a volunteer, is that correct? Or
I don't know. You don't have a card yet, and I know the people who make the ID cards. For some reason, they're either shorthanded or they're behind just getting all the ID cards done.
now as a
So-
volunteer, would I need to like schedule appointments, or am I able, if one of the veterans asks, hey, can you come by, am I able to just come by and visit them?
Well, see, that's what I'm trying to get it done so that you're a visitor. You're not a volunteer. So you don't have to be, you just come by just to let us know you're coming. So I can let the security guards know that there's not some stranger walking around. I wanted to ask if you guys, when you visit, you keep the visits either in that rose garden or over by those picnic tables so the other veterans don't feel uncomfortable with
Yeah, but sometimes the veterans want me to come in their tiny home with them.
in their own tiny home.
Correct.
That's up to you. That's up to you and the veteran.
Right, but I'm saying then I'm able to be in there.
If they're inviting you into their own place, that's okay.
Right.
Yeah, I just don't want you to like go walking up and down the aisles, knocking on people's doors and looking at windows.
Oh my God, I would never do that.
Okay.
That would be
That's all
totally
I'm asking.
disrespectful.
And I'm not saying you would do that. I'm just
Right.
making sure everybody knows.
Yeah,
how to do
no,
it.
that would be
Okay.
awful.
Okay. The second thing about the yoga, that is a real volunteer thing. So that would make you an official volunteer, and you would get connected to one of our services, our program services. And in this case, that's called Whole Health or Integrated Medicine. And they have a yoga instructor here on campus, and that person would then meet with you, and you would talk about how you're doing. You would make sure you're credentialed, and that person, I think she would make sure you had all the equipment and everything you
Oh,
needed.
great. So yeah, have
Yeah.
that person contact me as soon as possible.
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear back from them right now, and I'm looking. I've been a little busy. I apologize, but I haven't heard back from them yet.
Okay. And then if we could shift gears regarding the tiny home, the keys, because you did send me a text message that said
Yeah,
regarding, you said something about tomorrow, which would have been yesterday.
I said we were working on a plan that I would know about tomorrow, and I do. So there's a couple of things about the keys. So I want to ask you a question about the keys, about this process. So and I want you to take this as a fact. I'm not concerned that you put my phone number on your social media account. So I'm not trying to get out of that happening.
No, obviously, you keep telling me
Right.
to do that. I don't, for some reason, I get that.
But I want you to understand that the process of doing things is not always to your liking or to my liking or to what seems like it makes common sense to a person that's not within this system. So there's a number of different people or a number of different considerations that we have to make for security, for safety, and for longer term range with this program. So giving keys out as they are now to somebody for these shelters, keys are specific.
Wait, how come, hold on, back up. You keep saying shelter, but in the press, I assume they're going to use the word tiny home, right?
No, we use shelter.
Okay, so shelter. So the word tiny home isn't correct?
Well, they're not a home. Like they're a shelter. They're called pallet shelters. That's what it's called.
So who said tiny home? Where did that word, who came up
I don't
with
know.
it?
I think that's what they called them when LA County put them out. They were saying tiny homes initially.
This is what the tiny home looks like. You've got a bed, you've got space. This isn't occupied yet, but it's going to make life a lot easier for one of these vets.
Okay, so this is not a home.
It's not a home. It's not a home. It's not a long-term arrangement. It doesn't have a bedroom, a kitchen and everything. So it's a shelter. It's an emergency shelter.
Okay. And is there anything on the VA though that calls that a home?
I don't know. I don't think so. We haven't been here.
Okay.
But you might find something that somebody may have said somewhere, but I don't know.
Okay.
So back to the keys. Each one of the shelters has a pair of keys that came with it, right? And those are the only keys for that shelter. So if those keys get lost, then that shelter is inoperable.
Right, you already told me that, and I said that you could make extra keys.
So, Senna, you got to let me talk. If you interrupt me, that I know you don't like the answer.
No, you've already told me that. I'm saying you're just repeating things.
All right, so I won't tell you that part again. Okay, forget it.
Okay.
You know that already.
Right, I told you make more keys. And then that's when you responded and said, well, actually, we'd have to change the locks. And then that's when I text messaged you and said, well, you actually have security there. So if a veteran didn't live in the shelter pallet, is that what I'm supposed to call it?
The company is called Pallet Shelter.
Okay, so when the veteran leaves the pallet shelter,
You could just call it a shelter.
okay, when the veteran leaves the shelter and isn't in CTRS anymore, correct?
Right.
Then even if they did take their key or lose it, I'm assuming it would no longer be good because that veteran wouldn't, again, be in that area. And so all you would have to do actually in this case is make extra keys, and I'm happy to send the funds to make extra keys for that. And if there's 70 pallet shelters,
Let's imagine there's 110 now.
Okay, 110 pallet shelters. I will send $3.
Imagine a scenario where there was several keys to each shelter, okay? And then Eric comes and visits. And Eric is a good guy, but maybe he's got some nefarious side that we don't know about. And he picks up an extra key. Now, okay, Senate lost his key. Let's give Senate another key. Now Senate has a key and Eric's got a key. And then when you're not there, Eric's going to come in, open the door, take all your stuff.
Wait a second. Hold on. So your logic is that if you gave veterans their key, that someone else could take that key and then go in their place and take all their stuff. So instead, let's give no veteran a key so that whenever they leave, even if it's to take a piss or shit or shower, let alone work from 9 to 5, since this is supposed to be transitional, that their place will always be unlocked, always, so that someone could take their stuff.
Right. In the meantime...
Wait, you said right to that?
Say what?
So that's correct? What I just said?
They would, right now, that is what happened. I don't
so
know if
because Eric, just for some reason...
Because we're erring on the side of, right, you're exactly right, that we are...
Because someone like Eric, the pastor, he could take one of those keys laying around, and then he could somehow...
I was using that as an example.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. Someone like Eric, the pastor, could come and find one of those keys laying around,
and
right?
Of course, Eric would never do that.
No, of course not. But I'm just saying this is the example where you use. Right. So I'm just following along. And then when no one's looking, he's going to open that tiny, the pallet shelter and take everyone's stuff, take the person's stuff. Okay, so instead you decided, so Eric, the pastor, just as an example.
I want to make it clear, though, that this is not an individual decision, which I've said before. So I want to make it clear that this is the logic of a bureaucracy.
What degrees do you have?
What degrees? So I have a master's degree in social work.
In social work. Yeah. So because someone could take someone's key, you're gonna, and then the fault would be, the horrible thing would be the veteran stuff would get taken because they would wrongfully use that key. You're going to give no veterans a key.
Oh, no, you didn't let me get to the plan, the ideas for the plan. Okay.
No, but that's where we are at today, correct?
That's where we are at
What's
now.
the date today? Just to be February 10th, 2022. Okay.
February 10th.
Gotcha. Okay, go ahead. The plan.
Oh, hang on a second. I want to see. Somebody just sent me something about the keys.
Oh, maybe they can get them today.
I don't know. Let me see. What are we doing? Oh, okay. So the new shelters, the ones that were just delivered, have a different lock on them, which have a master key that's separate from the individual keys.
Okay, so where are we
Wait a
going?
minute.
Where are we going with this?
I'm trying to organize my thoughts as I'm reading this, what they're telling me.
Okay, let's just start with step one. All of the 50 or however many right now that have the key, can't we just make copies? I will send $500. I will bring it in cash. I'll write a check to the government. I'll do anything. I will make the keys. I will pick them up. I will do whatever you could possibly imagine and want to make copies of the key so that every decision maker who's deciding this gets a copy safely and the veteran can get one. I will pay for all of that.
I don't want you to do that.
No, I want to do that.
Well, so you want to pay for a copy of every key.
Correct. So how many people did you say? You said it's not just you making this decision, correct?
Correct.
So how many people make this decision or in this phone call room, etc.?
Let's see. I guess probably, I don't know, 10.
10. Perfect. Okay, 10. I will make...
What is that number for? You're going to make 10 keys?
I will make 10 copies of keys. Maybe 11 so security could get one. I don't know. That's fine. So 11 copies of every key. Every decision maker, you'll decide. You give it to each one. Right?
No,
just in
but
case
we
an
don't need
emergency happens. Just whoever...
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Everyone
Oh.
gets one. And then security gets one. There's a couple backups. And the veteran gets one. And I will drop off the money today. I will find the closest locksmith to that property. I will find out how many pallet shelters are there currently in this condition without the master key. What would the number be?
78.
Okay, so 78. 78 times 11. Okay. I will find I think this is simple. I will find the
Right.
closest place to the
And
VA.
again, it sounds simple. Yes, I agree with you. I agree that it sounds simple.
Right, but the reason you just gave me that we're not giving veterans their keys is because someone could take them and take all their stuff. So now you're giving no one a key. You told me you have a master's degree. I can't imagine you believe what you said makes sense.
I gave the caveat that this is not my decision, and I didn't say it makes sense to a regular person.
So would I need my master's in social work to
if you had a
understand
master's
this?
in social work, maybe it would make more sense.
Okay.
I'm kidding with you.
Oh, no, I'm not. I mean, I'm listening. I will find people who have their master's in social work and I will ask them. I'll get 10 of them to give their comment.
Well, some of them are the ones that are working down there, and they have masters in social work also.
Okay, so is that the 10 people getting a key?
I don't think.
Is that
those are-
Veronica? Does she have her master's in social work?
Veronica?
Yeah.
Yes. Veronica.
I'm gonna send you
all the
Perfect.
social workers that work in my service have a master's degree in social work.
That's good. I'm going to send you a link shortly that shows Veronica's conduct in front of...
I saw that one.
Oh, you saw that?
The video? Yeah.
When she called me a bitch and told me to come here?
She called you a bitch?
Yeah. She called me a bitch, so maybe you didn't see that video before you
No, is it more than one?
Oh, yeah, there's been 3 of her. but there's one very recently that got posted yesterday.
Can you tell me?
Please.
Can you like call me if somebody does that to you? Let me know. So I don't have to watch the video.
Honestly, until calling you makes a difference, no. If you get the veterans their keys, I'm happy to call you all the time with things before I share them. That sounds amazing because I don't want to share any of this shit.
I'm not trying to get you to
No, just listen. It takes a lot of time to edit all of this and do all of it. I don't like it. I just want veterans to have their freaking key. I could post the same video 50 times in a row. It's all, no one tells me what to do. This isn't a business. Do you understand? So
no, I'm not asking you to not post things. Because I'm not going to look at every video.
Okay.
So I want to know if you're being treated.
Okay, well, this one, Rihanna comments in the video that it sounds a little aggressive what your Veronica, the master social worker, has.
Veronica did that the other day?
Yes, in front of Rihanna. She screamed at the top of her lungs. In fact, she screamed so loud that the veteran ended up having to tell me, did you hear her? She called you a bitch. And I said, it's okay. That's what I told them. It's okay. When she started telling me to film
But this just happened the other day, you're telling me.
Excuse me?
This just happened the other day.
When
Sunday.
You know who was there, correct?
I did not know that.
Okay. Well, now you're knowing. She called me a bitch in front of her. And
that is not appropriate.
No, of course not. And she actually told me to record this, and she told me to come here. When I was trying to leave the property, she drove her car to the Eisenhower Gate. I don't drive on that property. I walk or skateboard, okay? I don't park on that property. And she drove to the place where I would try to then exit the place. So I went back to the CTRS area. She then moved her car. Then when I went back to leave, she then pulled up again, and I was able to leave before having an interaction with her. But it's incredibly harassing to have to deal with something like that.
What was she doing with the car? Why was she doing that?
You would have to ask her. It might be some social worker thing. If you have your master's, you would understand. I have no idea.
I have my master's and I don't understand that.
Okay.
She must have gone to a different school.
Yeah, she called me a bitch. The way that the veterans told me she acted, they said that if they acted in that exact manner, that she would have either 100% threatened to call the police, but she actually most likely just would have called the police. That's it.
So where's the video? Is it on your what do you call it? Instagram thing?
No, I didn't put it there yet.
Okay, can you send it to me then?
Yeah, I will.
Okay. All right, let me get back to you about the key thing because I got to run it by committee now.
Okay, thank you. I'll send you this video right now.
I appreciate that.
All right, thanks. I'm also, were you at the PR conference the other day?
The what?
The press conference for the pallet shelters? Yeah,
No.
Well, they didn't allow press in, they didn't allow me in, they didn't allow disabled veterans in.
Are you press? Do you?
I'll be whatever I can be to serve veterans. I don't give
No, I just want to know because if you're press, then you go on a different
I'm
press.
everything. I'm a volunteer. I'm a visitor. I'm press.
Okay, because we get press, we send out messages to the press.
Make sure I'm on that list, please.
If you're officially like the press, like you have, I don't know what it is.
I'll send you my credentials. Anyone who has press credentials, mind you, they're made up. No one is given actual press credentials from actual anything legitimate. I am considered media and press.
Okay, well, send me something then, and then I'll make sure that Richard gets it.
Send you something? Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
All right, so I will send you that, and I'm going to send you this video of Veronica.
Yeah, and if you want to get a jump on the yoga thing, is there a certificate like?
Yeah, I'll send you my certificate.
Okay, that we'll get a head start with it before the people get back to me.
That's a great question. Okay.
And that's good. I'm glad. That's going to be good to have activities like that, like yoga and things like that.
That's why in April of 2020 I tried to do this.
Did you try to do it outside on the street?
No, I didn't try to do it on the street. I tried to do it like on the lawn where you would think they would have allowed it, or in one of the many buildings, or I didn't know all the bullshit that was going on at the time. I legitimately was like, oh, I want to help veterans, and they are telling me they want yoga. I was just developing a relationship with them.
Yeah.
And so I said, yeah, sure. Let me email this guy. Let me email these people. And never heard back, of course.
Okay, well, I'll make sure we follow up. And then, I don't know.
All right, cool. And yeah, the veterans at CTRS definitely mentioned they're interested.
Oh, and not just the San Vicente guys, though, right? You're opening up to everybody?
Yeah, whoever. I don't care.
Or it could be 100 people.
It's amazing.
All right. Great. Okay. All right. I'll talk to you in a little bit.
All right. Bye.
See you.
Shout out MrCheckpoint, AFTP. There's killers up in these streets. Always film the police. They keep feeding us to the beast. Always film the police. They kill us up in these streets. Always film the police. Gotta be our own keepers of peace. Gotta police the police. Gotta police the police.